Hi there, everyone. Meteorologist Nicole Madden here with the latest update on Tropical Storm Debby. Now, this update here from the National Hurricane Center just came out at 11 o'clock, seeing a similar pattern as what we were seeing earlier this morning with that shift a little bit further to the west, which means some heavier rain possible for the Charlotte metro area and really along that stretch of 77 and east towards the coast. Now, this storm is now moving off the Georgia coast and it's going to stall out over the Atlantic here. That's going to be able to soak up all of that tropical moisture and keep that flooding threat in check across the southeast over the next couple of days. We're already seeing that very heavy rain across parts of the Midlands and along the South and North Carolina coastline. Now, this storm will move back in towards South Carolina as we get into early Thursday morning, and from there it's going to press through the Carolinas, passing just east of Charlotte by early Friday morning. And from then we will see that storm take off towards the northeast and out of the region. Rain, though, will be coming through in waves over the next couple of days. Closer to the coast, if you had any beach plans, hopefully you don't, because we do have these tropical storm warnings in effect from the Georgia coastline through the South Carolina coastline and now even into the southeastern part here of the North Carolina coast with the tropical storm watch out into the Outer Banks. That means that those tropical storm conditions will begin here Wednesday night for that area here that's under a watch. We have those ongoing tropical storm conditions for the rest of the area under that warning. We also have a tornado watch in effect for the North and South Carolina coastlines. We've seen a couple of cells here that have rotated. That's something we generally see really to the right of center with these storms. So as it does move back inland later this week, we'll likely see more of these quick spin up tornadoes closer to the coast here. So Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach into the North Carolina coast. As we take that wider view and keeping things coastal right now, just want to give you that general overview where we have those immediate impacts. In terms of that storm surge, 2 to 4 feet of storm surge possible along the South Carolina coast. We're going to see about up to 2 to 3 feet here outside of the South Carolina coastline, and that combined with this heavy rain means that there is a big chance here for a lot of that inundation here for some of the beaches and beach erosion as this storm just sits off the coastline. We have quite a few of those rip current risks in effect, including some of those high surf warnings and high surf watches, I should say, across the South and North Carolina coastline. The biggest story here is that you don't want to be taking it to the beach over the next couple of days. Not only that, the wind field from this storm is very large. It is going to move back into the Atlantic where it is going to strengthen slightly. So we're going to see this with those winds getting back up into the 50 to 60 mile per hour sustained region, and that is going to push further inland. Now, the strongest winds will be staying outside of the Charlotte metro region, but for the far eastern part of the area, we're talking into Richmond County, Chesterfield County, we could get some gusts here, 50 to 60 miles per hour, and it won't take much with the winds to see that threat for within that range here. We could see some of those stronger gusts that will easily take down trees with how saturated the ground is going to be. I wanted to show you some of those sustained winds closer to the coastline, but we'll just skip over this. We haven't had too much of those stronger gusts closer to home, but towards the Carolina coast, we've seen some 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts this morning. Now, flooding is going to be the major concern for us locally. Even closer to the coast, we have these flash flood warnings in effect for the Charleston coastline here near Savannah and even further north into Myrtle Beach with more than 7 inches of rain that has already fallen in North Myrtle Beach. Locally, flood watch in effect here through Friday morning. We're seeing Chesterfield, Stanley, Anson, and Richmond counties all under that. So talking more about those local impacts for you, I want to show you our current radar and satellite, a little bit of a closer view. We're getting these bands here with very intense rainfall rates. It's really not as much about how much of that rain we're going to see, although that is important. It's about the intensity of these downpours. If we get rainfall rates of more than 2 to 3 inches per hour, that means that there's nowhere for that water outer to go, and that's where we see it stack up and that flooding threat that comes into play, which is going to be a problem as we head into Thursday especially. Now going forward with our timeline towards Tuesday evening, as the center here of Tropical Storm Debby moves off the coast, we're going to see waves of showers. If you're in the mountains and foothills, you may see some light rain, but you're not going to really get in on that heavier rain until we get into Thursday when it becomes more widespread. We'll see a little bit of break in the coverage early Wednesday, but by Wednesday evening, we have that heavier rain that's going to be setting up closer to the coast and pushing into the Piedmont. By Thursday, as that center moves back onshore here just north of Charleston, it's going to be taking off towards the Piedmont and passing just east of Charlotte. This is where we'll see that heavier rain set up here through Thursday evening, and widespread rain at that. Now that's where the majority of the rain will fall through Friday afternoon. That we'll continue to see those showers, but it will dissipate as the system moves off to the north and away from the Charlotte metro area. Now rainfall totals over the next couple of days, those are going to really intensify here with the chance for that flash flooding risk. Today and tomorrow, we're going to see more of that potential for localized to scattered flash flooding, especially south and east of Charlotte. But Thursday, that's where we're going to see numerous issues with flash flooding across the area and even extreme issues. Lancaster, or we're talking about Chesterfield, Anson, Richmond counties especially, and then closer to the coast. This is where we're going to have those heavy downpours for very long periods of time and may have some serious issues. So if you have that hybrid schedule where you can pick when you work from home, Thursday would be a good day to make that happen here, as these downpours could be blinding and flooding could become more of a concern through the end of the week. Now rainfall totals, looking at our potential outlook here, we're going to see the highest totals closer to the coast. This is where we're going to pick up 10 to 20, even up to 25 inches of rain. Locally within the WCCB viewing area, this is where we could see 3 to 6 inches of rainfall towards the 77 stretch. For areas further to the east, we could even see a little bit more than that, 6 to 8 inches possible, although we're looking at the most significant totals, again, closer to the coastline where that center is and where we're going to see that storm pass right of center going over the next couple of days. Now, the further west we get from 77, your rainfall totals are going to be quite a bit less, about 1 to 2 inches possible across the mountains into the foothills, and further towards the 85 corridor on the west end, that's where we could see anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of rain. Now, if this does jog a little bit further to the west, these rainfall totals could amplify quite a bit, but overall, we're going to be watching for these intense rainfall rates over the next couple of days. Really checking in for anyone that has any questions. I know that we have this streaming here on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram. So if you do have any of those questions, please go ahead and leave them there for us. We'll be glad to answer them and go through and let you know what we're expecting in any of those changes. But overall, the biggest change here is that track has shifted a little further west, which means rainfall totals are a little bit higher. Expect those first outer bands here to move in. If you're not seeing the rain yet, you'll likely see it within the next couple of hours. A little bit of a pause, more rain, with the widespread rain and heavy downpours coming our way Thursday into Friday. So for more of that information and for more, you can always download the WCCB weather app. Great tool to have, has everything you need to know as well. So we'll be keeping you updated through there, and you can always check our website at WCCBcharlotte.com with the latest information in the story on Tropical Storm Debby. We'll be back here throughout the evening. Meteorologist Caitlin Wright has more for you coming up tonight at 8.